After the vote, private alcove council level. The obsidian walls of the chamber pulsed faintly with residual psionic energy, the aftershock of Sinclair's words still lingering like static. The vote had passed, barely. And now, in the shadows behind the formal proceedings, the opposition gathered. Councillor Vrixer of the Threx Coalition stood near the viewport, mandibles twitching in agitation. Her carapace shimmered with subtle heat signatures, rage barely contained. She chuckled bitterly. At least the humans are good for one thing, she hissed. Naming the Kavrik after the rodents they loathe. Fitting, isn't it? That traitorous rat has been reinstated. Councillor Falvor of the Vor Ascendancy leaned against the console, his silver skin dimmed, psionic field coiled tight around him. Yes, he said, voice low, the Kavrik are entitled. Their kind populates our battlefields like vermin. And now, one of them stands at the helm of a warship again. Vrixer turned, mandibles clacking softly. What are we going to do about him? Ralik spat on our deal, defied the council, and still got everything he wanted. She stepped closer, voice dropping to a whisper. And what if those crude beasts are telling the truth? What if a red zone 4828 is clear? The council will hand them even more power, more influence, more reach. Falvor's eyes gleamed faintly, a psionic shimmer dancing across his brow. Do not worry, Councillor Vrixer, he said, a sly grin curling across his face. I have a feeling, one way or another, the universe will find a balance. Ambassador Sinclair's office, pre-mission briefing. The soft hum of a secure transmission faded. Your request is approved, Sinclair. Admiral Harlan out. A chime echoed through the office. Ambassador Sinclair, came the voice of his aide. Captain Ralik is here to see you. Sinclair looked up from his console, a faint smile tugging at his lips. Ah, perfect timing. Send him in. The doors parted with a hiss. Ralik stepped inside, his posture crisp, his eyes alert. They exchanged a firm nod. What brings you here, Captain? Sinclair asked, gesturing to the seat across from him. Ralik sat, his tail flicking once behind him. I've been thinking about my mission into Red Zone 4828. There's a deep-seated fear surrounding it. It's been off limits nearly as long as the Federation has existed. My crew will feel the weight of that history. I was wondering, would it be possible to have an escort? It is, after all, unofficially United Earth Alliance territory. Sinclair leaned back, steepling his fingers. I'm glad you brought this up, Captain Ralik. I actually just got off a call with Admiral Harlan. With only 4 contested fronts left, and no immediate push into Dominion territory, I requested that the Goliath escort the Zephyr's Fang on this mission. He paused, watching Ralik's reaction. I know you have history with them. You might feel more comfortable having someone you trust nearby. Ralik studied Sinclair for a long moment. I didn't expect such an important resource like the Goliath to be assigned to us. Our comfort surely doesn't mean that much to you. His confusion began to show. You don't expect to find any bugs, do you? Sinclair chuckled softly. No, Captain. Nothing quite so ominous. He leaned forward, voice lowering. You see, Captain, you've become quite important to the United Earth Alliance. Whether you realize it or not, you stood for truth. You faced exile. You risked your future to ensure the Council couldn't deny our contribution to this war. He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. To us, that makes you a target, and where better to make someone disappear than in a disabled zone like 4828? Ralik's fur bristled along the nape of his neck, a chill running down his spine. Ambassador, Surely you're not suggesting that opposing members of the council would behave unjustly? Sinclair smiled, a slow, knowing smile. Captain, that's exactly what I think they'll do. People do strange things when they think their power is being threatened. Ralik gave a slow nod, the weight of the moment settling in his chest. He turned to leave, his boots echoing softly against the polished floor. But Sinclair's voice stopped him at the threshold. "Oh, Captain, one more thing." Ralik turned, ears perked. "I'd like you to keep this between us," Sinclair said, his tone casual but deliberate. "I want the Goliath's involvement to be a bit of a surprise." He leaned back, eyes gleaming with quiet calculation. "The trick isn't the hook. It's making them think there isn't one." Ralik's eyes narrowed slightly, a flicker of understanding passing between them. "Understood, Ambassador." The shuttle broke through the upper atmosphere, its hull shimmering against the dry dock's containment field. Below, suspended like a predator at rest, the Zephyr's Fang loomed. Ralik leaned forward, eyes locked on the silhouette. There she was. Fresh paint gleamed along her hull, deep matte black with streaks of cobalt trim. Her frame had been reinforced, her engines upgraded, her weapon ports polished to a mirror finish. The scars of war had been erased, replaced with precision and pride. She looked ready. The shuttle banked slowly, giving him a full view of her undercarriage, sleek, lethal, unmistakable. The Zephyr's Fang wasn't just a ship. She was a statement. Ralik's chest tightened. 2 years. 2 years in that trench-ridden hellhole. 2 years of mud, blood, and silence. And now he was coming home. Not to a barracks, not to a command tent, but to his bridge. To the crew that had followed him through fire. To the vessel that had carried his name across contested space. His tail flicked once, involuntarily. His fur bristled, not from fear, but from anticipation. He could already hear the hum of the engines, smell the recycled air, feel the vibration of her pulse through the deck. This is where I belong, he thought. Not buried in bureaucracy, not lost in council politics. Here, in motion, in command. The shuttle slowed, aligning with the docking ring. Ralik stood, smoothing his uniform, claws flexing with restrained excitement. He wasn't just returning. He was reclaiming. Ralik stepped onto the bridge, chest tight, feeling every pair of eyes on him. His crew already knew the mission. They were heading deep into the red zone, hours from the nearest safe system, to verify the United Earth Alliance's claims. Reports said the infestations had been eradicated, but the job was to confirm it. Check every system, every planet, for lingering bugs or signs of new infestations. The tension in the room was palpable, and he felt it in himself too. A knot of unease he carefully masked beneath calm authority. "Helm," he said, measured. "Set course for Veridian 7. Smooth exit." The engines hummed as the ship lifted from the dry dock. The XO's fingers drummed on the console. "Veridian 7. Well into the red zone, Captain." Ralik nodded, jaw tight. "I know. Council orders. Our job is to verify every claim and report what we find. Eyes open, minds sharp." A heavy silence fell. One officer leaned over her console, scanning reports. A young crewman gripped the railing, knuckles white. Another adjusted a sleeve, staring at the viewport. The tension was shared, unspoken, thick in the air. "Captain," came a tentative voice from the comms panel. "You heard correctly," Ralik said, letting his calm slip just slightly. "We go in to observe, to confirm, to do our jobs thoroughly. No shortcuts. Yes, sir, the XO replied, voice steady but edged with concern. The ship surged forward, slipping into hyperspace, leaving the dry dock and the safety of the known far behind. The Zephyr's Fang dropped out of hyperspace with a ripple of blue light. Stars snapped into view, scattered across the dark canvas of the red zone system. Scanning the system, Captain, the sensor officer reported, fingers darting over controls. A sharp beep-beep broke the stillness. Captain, the officer's voice faltered. I'm detecting a massive vessel. The words hung heavy. The bridge tensed. Someone sucked in a breath. Another officer's hand froze over their console. Transport bug? A voice whispered, barely audible. The fear was instinctive. Every crew member had seen the files, or tried to. Pages filled with horrors. Living starships of chitin and bone. Monasteries of flesh large enough to blot out suns, each carrying millions of insectoid killers inside. Many hadn't finished reading. Ralik's voice cut through the fear, like a steel blade. Hold your nerves, everyone. The United Earth Alliance assured us the bugs are gone. This is most likely our escort. As if answering him, the comm station chimed sharply. Captain, sir, incoming transmission. It's the Goliath. Relief rippled through the crew. Tension bleeding some shoulders and rigid jaws. On screen, Ralik ordered. The forward view shifted, and gasps filled the bridge. The Goliath emerged from the darkness like a titan, a warship so vast it dwarfed the Fang completely. Its armored hull glimmered with a lattice of glowing defense grids, weapons arrays bristling along its flanks like a fortress in space. No bug, no nightmare, this was human engineering. Steel and firepower, a mobile city forged for war. Then the comm screen flickered, revealing Captain Eliza Vance. Her confident smile alone seemed to ease the lingering tension. Captain Thren, she said warmly. Congratulations on your reinstatement of the Zephyr's Fang. Thank you, Captain Vance, Ralik replied, inclining his head. I'm pleased to be back. And I believe I speak for my entire crew when I say we're glad to have the Goliath as our escort for this mission. The scans of the first system came back clear. No life signs, no strange energy readings. The Zephyr's Fang and the Goliath moved methodically, system by system, logging every detail. The evidence was consistent. Every planet, every moon, every asteroid belt they surveyed showed exactly what the United Earth Alliance's reports claimed. The bugs were gone. Eradicated. Days passed in this grim routine. Reports became predictable, the bridge settling into a quiet rhythm. Officers relaxed slightly in their seats. Conversations crept back in hushed tones between shifts. For the first time, it seemed the red zone wasn't as terrifying as its reputation suggested. Preparing for the next jump, Captain, the helm reported. Proceed, Ralik said calmly. The familiar hum of hyperspace filled the bridge. Moments later, stars snapped back into place, this time in a new system. Scanning, the sensor officer began, voice steady. Then a sharp beep. I have contacts. 6? The officer's eyes widened. No, 12 contacts, sir. The calm of the last few days shattered in an instant. The bridge buzzed with sudden tension. Confirm, Ralik barked, leaning forward. Confirmed. Multiple large signatures inbound.